Peace. Good evening. I'd like to welcome you back to another emergency edition of the Foul Playland. As always, I am Sir Foul Player of Brooklyn, coming at you live from the East Coast of the United States on a really hot evening. We've just heard news that Trump announced that Iran has been struck by U.S. bombs minutes or hours ago. I'm not sure. Apparently, what was struck was two or three nuclear facilities in the country of Iran. There are reports that that was made possible by way of U.S. bomber planes known as B-2 planes, and um, we've entered a new fray as a planet. One thing that, in terms of military actions in the Trump administration, especially in his second administration, it seems like he's being more cagey in terms of what plans he's taking with these military strikes. In the sense that we've heard recently that he was giving them 2 weeks to negotiate. Then there was also rumors that this weekend the U.S. was in talks behind the scenes to potentially strike Iran or enter the fray with Iran. So a lot of people were up in the air as to what would happen. Ultimately, the decision has been made. The U.S. has officially bombed Iran. Whether that means that the U.S. is now at war with Iran, I'm not sure. I believe from the reports I was reading before this bombing took place was that the U.S. was trying to negotiate with Iran, and Trump had made inroads publicly to negotiate with Iran and try to get Iran to make a deal. Apparently, that wasn't working out. A lot of the statements that have been made publicly from Iran was that they wouldn't negotiate with the U.S. so long as Israel kept striking them, which I thought to be foolish from the Iranian nation. And this is not because I'm trying to defend Trump's actions, but it was foolish in the sense that they were contending against Israel, which is a larger power than Iran, and thumbing the nose at a even larger power than both nations in the U.S. Trump, by and large, I mean, has it doesn't seem as if a large civilian population has been bombed, and a lot of Trump statements seem to be indicating that he doesn't want a wide boots on the ground war in Iran. But the threat of Iran having a nuclear weapon was something that Trump made clear that he didn't want them to have nuclear capability. And some people may say, well, Israel or all these other nations are able to have nuclear capability, and I understand that, but Iran isn't a ultra powerful nation to that capacity in which they already had nuclear weapons. They were trying to make nuclear weapons, but Iran since 1979 has made it a policy in a sense to include chance to say debt to Israel, which I guess that's a Middle Eastern conflict. But more importantly, they always include that they debt to the USA, and it's always made seem that the Middle Eastern region is something that could ignite a world war, more so because Iran is quote unquote such a unpredictable nation, a nation that is run by radical Muslims. So it was always seemed as like a wild card, and the fact that they weren't seeding the nuclear capability or seeding production of enriched uranium in an effort to make a nuclear weapon. I'm not crashing down too much on the Trump administration for doing what he did this evening. It seems as though, again, the nuclear facilities have been struck in Iran. I'm not sure what they hit it with. There's a rumor that there's 30 tons of missiles that were, or bombs that were dropped on Iran. I'm not sure. I feel that the world is a bit safer if Iran doesn't make a nuclear weapon. I also feel that I know a lot of Iranian people here in New York. There's actually a Iranian person on my very street, and they're Christians too. They're not Muslim. But when you talk to a lot of Iranians here in America, none of them are cool with the fact that the Iranian regime is the way it is. None of them are cool with the fact that since 1979, Iran has pivoted into a radical Muslim nation or radical Islamic nation, where it used to be sort of like the Ibiza of the Middle East. You could look at footage from the 70s in Iran, and it was a great place to be. I feel that a lot of Iran pivoted in that direction because of outside entities. I'm not going to name who, but I feel that they pivoted in that direction, and it was almost peace, trala, arrow, tralala, and Jasion's world. Thank you for coming through. But the fact that they always were a wild card in a sense of having anonymity with Western countries, particularly the U.S., and the fact that they were insistent on continuing the enriching uranium and producing a nuclear weapon, it kind of put Trump at a crossroads. I mean, it doesn't seem like he's aligned at the hip with Israel, and it doesn't seem like he's very happy with what Netanyahu has done in recent history, I guess, or recent months, weeks. But nevertheless, the U.S. has entered the fray, and we'll see if this is a bigger escalation, whether like same false flag stuff is going to happen here in America, or if real radicals actually do pop something off. Who knows? I don't think Iran's ability to respond to America is that much of a thing that we should be concerned for as far as militaristically. I believe that their Air Force has F-14s, which are really antiquated planes by today's standards. But I think that most Iranian people in Iran don't want a large-scale conflict, and I don't want it to escalate into a wide-scale conflict. And even if it's an easy war for the United States, I think that we are entering into dangerous times altogether. Though I have been saying on this channel that the world we're living in right now is highly pressurized. It just feels highly pressurized at every turn, and I don't know if it's the muggy New York City weather, but this has sort of turned the temperature up for what will happen in the coming years. But I'm trying to think if also too, more importantly than anything, is that Trump will be speaking supposedly within the hour. Trump actually did a tweet after this strike in which he put a singular U.S. flag emoji as the tweet. He actually did that in the past too, when he killed I believe an Iranian general or some other military radical Muslim person in his first administration, where he put a flag emoji immediately after conducting a successful operation, which they assassinated or killed this general or something. And he did that as well today. But more importantly, unlike the Biden administration, which I was very critical of them because Biden wasn't out in the public that often, whereas Trump seems to be in front of a camera every day, letting the American people know what his plans are. Par for the course, Trump is also doing that this evening, which, I mean, besides sports, I mean, what else is happening in the entertainment world? Real life world news is more entertaining than entertainment. Entertainment is actually ass cheeks. International intrigue and what may happen in the world is so much more riveting in 2025, in this 2025 that you and I are living in. Well, I just wanted to come on here real quick. If something else happens, I am going to come on. I'm kind of beat though. I've been doing a flea market out of my house and just got the energy zapped out of me. But and I got to do it again tomorrow, so I'm not sure what my plans are in terms of streaming. But should there be another crazy event or another escalation that happens because of this, I'll be sure to report it. But my opinion, as far as Iran's stubbornness into continuing a nuclear, that's another point I wanted to make too. Iran's stubbornness into continuing their nuclear weapon pursuit, if you will. They're stubbing their nose at the U.S. The fact that they even have a bone of contention against the U.S., to be frank, I mean, it's always kind of perplexed me. Also, too, Trump this past week has put out Truth Social post in which and I actually had them on my community post in which he put Saddam, I mean Barack Obama kneeling next to a pile of money, and he indicated that Iran wouldn't have a nuclear program had Obama not paid for it by way of giving Iran pallets of cash in the past. This is a rumor I've heard in the past as well, or something that was reported on. I actually put another CBS News story too, which verified that rumor in that the Obama administration did give pallets of cash to Iran. And it's nothing that they've contended against. I mean, like Trump's put it out there. The mainstream media has kind of stayed silent. They're not saying, "Oh, well, this Trump's a lunatic," or spreading conspiracies of Obama giving these pallets of cash. So I'm not sure what to make of that, but I do know that um, enriched uranium, which it seems Iran does possess, is something that's really accounted for as to who has it and who doesn't have it. And the fact that Iran somehow possesses enriched uranium is perplexing to me. I mean, but hopefully that's something that we all find out. There's rumors also that the Iranian regime actually received enriched uranium from the Obama administration or from the U.S. Although, again, since 1979, at a minimum, Iran has been probably top three enemy of the United States, even when we're in operations in Iraq or Afghanistan. Iran was always seen as sort of another top contender to somehow instigate a war or start a war on religious purposes, and again, all religious all religious fanatics are a problem, whether that be Christian fanatics, Muslim fanatics, Judaic fanatics. In 2025, many of our problems start because these cultish type groups, because not all Christians are cultish or Muslims are cultish or whoever. But these groups are, whether out in front for all to see or behind the scenes, are the reason as to why most of the wide scale problems in this world are happening. And it's something that we should quell. I mean, like this whole money being printed and spread abroad, like to these other countries for God knows what reason. If there's any validity to the fact that Obama did give or Iran pallets of cash, it's stuff that shouldn't be happening. And I'm not sure if one thing leads to the other, but the approach that Trump is taking, I mean, is one of really trying to display the strength of this country, but also too trying to reel in a lot of domestic aspects of things that are wrong with this country in terms of investigating the 2020 election, um, in terms of calling out these globalist apparatuses that are here in America or are financed by pretty much American dollars, it seems. All these things are out in the open now, and more and more people are finding out who's who in the zoo, and that's a fantastic thing. But this striking of the nuclear facility in Iran, yes, I don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon, but the fact that it's an escalation, I don't consider that promising. I think it's something that should give us worry. I don't want people to get hurt ultimately in Iran, in America, anywhere. But this is the world we're living in. If something should pop up, I'll be here to report it. But I do want to thank you guys for stepping into the Foul Playland with me. As always, I am Sir Foul Player of Brooklyn. Please like, share, subscribe. YouTube is cock blocking me at every turn, but you could help me fight them and their algorithm. But much love, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Head on a swivel. Be safe. Buy yourself some water and some supplies if you have extra money, just in case the power goes out or who knows. But with that, I hope you guys take care. More likely than not, I'll be coming back tomorrow. We'll see. Peace. Thanks again.